The Fur are an ethnic group from Western Sudan, principally inhabiting the region of Darfur where they are the largest tribe. They are a Western Sudanese people who practice sedentary herding and agriculture, mainly the cultivation of millet. The society is a traditional one governed by village elders. They speak Fur, a Nilo-Saharan language, and are Muslims, having adopted the religion following the region's conquest by the Kanem-Bornu Empire during the Middle Ages. Some of them have come to speak Arabic in recent years. The name of Darfur comes from the name of this tribe and means the home of the fur. Most of the well-known governors of Darfur such as Darij and Tegani Cisse are members of the Fur. The Fur established the historical Sultanate of Darfur which governed Darfur until 1916. Abdul Wahid al-Anwar, a leader among the Fur, established the Sudan Liberation Movement and Army. Another leader of the tribe, as of 2007, is Ahmed Abdul Shafi. The traditional heartland of the Fur is the mountainous region around Jebel Si and Jebel Mara Wadi Saleh in Zaliji. Today, however, most of them live in the lower country west and southwest of that area, between 11 to 14 N and 23 to 26 E. Some Fur live across the border in Chad, many of them refugees. The Fur's lifestyle has led to conflict with the nomadic Bagra cattle herders of the region, concerning access to water and grazing land, particularly in Darfur's central Jebel Mara mountains, where the best agricultural land is to be found. This has been the source of ethnic tensions for many years, culminating in the Darfur conflict which began in 2003. Many Fur villages were massacred in the ethnic fighting as Mafia and Turgem tribes divided up land they conquered from the Fur. According to a September 3, 2007 New York Times account citing United Nations officials and Fur survivors, the Fur are well known for the Muslim piety. They are also well known for being very proud of the black African identity. The main reason behind the Fur's opposition to all governments that have been ruling Sudan since 1956 and led by Central and Northern Sudan Arab elites. Although they are well known for the Muslim piety, their Islam is very much mixed with their indigenous traditions and customs. For many Fur, African traditions are more important than the Islamic instructions. Fur intellectuals are secular and tend to support the idea of New Sudan that was created by John Garang de Mabia, the founder of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement Army. Identity. The Fur are the largest ethnic group in the Darfur region of Western Sudan. They are also sometimes referred to by the names Fora, Fordunga, Furawi, Konjera, or Kundgara. They are an active agricultural people and may also herd cattle. Some Fur families who have accumulated substantial cattle had developed a more nomadic lifestyle like that of their herding neighbors, the Bakara Arabs. Culturally, those cattle-herding Fur are now considered to be Bakara. The Fur are nominally Sunni Muslims following the Maliki school of Islamic law. Culture. Language. The Fur speak a fairly uniform Nilo-Saharan language also called Fur, though they may speak Arabic in order to relate to their Arabic neighbors and the Sudanese central government. They very much retain the traditional identity. There is no written or symbolic script for the Fur language. They recently have been using Arabic or Latin characters to put the language in written form. Most Fur people speak Fur fluently as the mother tongue. Common greetings include Ivilako, good morning, Ivilako news, good evening. Heavy drums are often used while making speeches and other public addresses. Art. Dance. Fur dance style is unique to the region. Some of the main dances in the tribe are Nogara, Firalubia and Duke, and Yari, which are performed on special occasions such as weddings, the birth of a child, and other important events. Handmade art. The Fur people make their own handmade art and utensils. These include talak, which is used for cleaning pots, thirish, which is a carpet for sitting, and garda, which is a wood plater bowl used for important occasions. Music, stories and entertainment. In the Fur tribe, stories are told to keep children safe from the outside world. These stories are designed to keep children close to home. In some stories, children are told that if they go out in the morning they will die from the heat of the sun, and in the night they are told if they go out an animal called Nyama will eat them. Fur music is very popular in the culture. The main instruments are drums. The music is played with a heavy drum beat that accompanies the celebrations. Some popular Fur musicians are Abdullah Kioka and Mariam Amo. Architecture. There is one common type of architecture in homes and buildings, which is called gatia. Gatia is a mud house. This is no longer practical because it could catch fire very easily. Attire and body art. Clothes in the tribe are similar to what is worn in Sudan. They wear casual Sudanese clothes like a jalabia. The jalabia is a white garment that covers the wearer from head to toe. A long time ago, when the Fur tribe was Arabized, Fur women used to poke the lower lip many times until the lip starts to swell. These dents were considered a sign of beauty. Social structure. In the social structure of the Fur tribe, they do not have so much regard for the wealth. A poor leader and a rich leader can become a chief. The experience of a man is based primarily on his knowledge of the Quran. A man cannot even get married if he does not know a couple pages of this text. The Quran is studied with the help of a handheld board-shaped object known as the low and a wooden stylus called a kalam. The Fur tribesman's knowledge of the Quran determines the position on the tribe's hierarchy ladder. For example, a tribesman must know almost the whole book to attain position as chieftain. The Fur tribe also has its own crafts for entertainment. These include dance games like ALLE and toys like Burajay. Burajay is a small doll-like toy made from a camel's back. It is bound by rope and sewn by thorns. Social behavior. When greeting each other, a woman and a man have different methods of respect. The woman must kneel down before the man and the man must slow his pace. Different sexes can also dance together but are forbidden to touch or live with each other unless they are family. Men and women usually get married in the late teens to their early 20s. The groom and wife will meet each other and get to know about them, their accomplishments and other important attributes. If everything goes well, they will proceed to wed. Roles of men and women. The men bear the family name. They work to bring money to the family and are responsible for all important decisions related to the family, such as finances and marriages. The women get water, prepare the food, and ensure the cleanliness of the home. Daughters normally help the mothers, milk the cows, and stay at home. Sons rear and herd cattle along with the domesticated cows. If either of these two misbehave, they are similarly punished by their elders. Also, it is disrespectful to look an adult in the eyes. Eating. Sudan is well known for its gawa coffee served from a jebina, a special Sudanese pot. The coffee beans are roasted in this pot over charcoal, then ground with cloves and other spices. The grounds are steeped in hot water and the coffee is served in tiny cups after straining it through a grass sieve. Tea chai is also very popular and served in small glasses without milk. Some beverages enjoyed in the non-Islamic areas are aragi, a clear strong spirit made from dates, merisa, a type of beer, and tedj, or wines, made from dates and honey. Sudanese cuisine is as varied as its cultures, especially in the south, but it has certain unique characteristics. Millet porridge and full medamas, a savory dish of mashed fava beans, are popular breakfast foods in the north. Lamb and chicken are often eaten, but pork is prohibited to Muslims. wheat, and dura sorghum are the staple starch. Breads include the Arabian kubs and kisra, an omelette-like pancake which is part of the Sudanese dinner. Mashi, a beef and tomato dish, is also typical. Fruits are peeled for dessert, and a favorite treat is creme caramel. In the south, dinner is served on a low, bare table. There may be 5 or 6 dishes to dip into with large pieces of flatbread. These dishes are accompanied by a salad and shata, a red-hot spice mixture served in small dishes. After the meal, dessert is served, then tea. On special occasions, incense may be lit. The ritual of hospitality is important in Sudan. Economic base. Families in the Fur tribe have many types of families. Parandia, or nuclear families, are a very common type. They normally have 2 or more children. In a typical Fur family, the parents of the groom and wife will be taken care of until they die. In a Fur marriage, the groom's father goes to the bride's father and asks for his son's permission to marry. The bride's father does not give an answer immediately, but then asks the village for its opinion. If everyone approves, the bride's father accepts. The whole village gathers for the announcement of the marriage, and preparations are made. Then the marriage starts in the groom's house. The imam recites words from the Quran. The groom and bride hold hands during this time. After the wedding, the family and guests have lunch. Then they start a lively dance called Fire-Alubia. Then the bride and groom are taken to the bride's house and given food, during which everyone says congratulations. Institutions. Islam is the major religion in the Fur tribe, although some still practice their own religion. The schools called in this region teach the Quran. Classes begin at 6 to 7 years and they continue learning the Quran for the rest of their lives. Normal schooling is also practiced in these schools. The main occupation here is farming. The Fur people are excellent farmers. They grow and harvest wheat, herbs, spices, etc. Wealth is not really important for the Fur people. Only his knowledge of the Quran determines his altitude. History. The Fur tribe came from southern Africa to the northwest of Sudan, where they settled in Darfur. They had 36 sultanates. The Fur were also one of the first people from other tribes in the country who were picked to build the wall covering and mosque surrounding the Kaaba. Political situation. Until 1916, the Fur were ruled by an independent sultanate and were oriented politically to peoples in Chad. Though the ruling dynasty before that time, as well as the common people, had long been Muslims, they have not been Arabized. They are now incorporated into the Sudan political system. The Fur had been basically independent from the 17th century. After British reconquest in 1899, the British approved the re-establishment of the Fur Sultanate, assumed by Ali Dinar when the Mahdist movement crumbled. Mahdist revolts continued to break out in Sudan until 1916. The fall of Darfur was decided when Ali Dinar declared loyalty to the Ottoman Empire. In World War I, the British abolished the Fur Sultanate in 1916 after Dinar died in battle. In World War I, Darfur made a bid for independence by allying with Turkey against the British. The British conquered Darfur in 1916, and since then it has been part of Sudan. Since the 1970s, the Darfur area has suffered some of the effects of the Northern Arab War prosecuted in the south against southern tribes who wanted to secede from the Sudan. War has been the primary factor in the last few decades of the Darfur area. A civil war lasted about 20 years until the end of the 20th century. A new conflict arose in 2003, involving local Arab militia called Janjaweed attacking the African peoples village by village in a campaign of terror, reportedly supported by the Sudanese military.